Hiya folks, happy St Patrick's Day. In the background you might notice a bit of pub noise and a little bit of jiggy music. This is from a pub in Dublin, and it's from a wonderful site called Free Sound, which has sounds that you can use without having to pay copyright. So I thought this would give us a nice atmosphere at the beginning of the quiz for our St Patrick's Day quiz. So without further ado, let me get my questions ready. Now, there is, for one extra point, there is a deliberate mistake in the post I made yesterday about St Patrick's Day quiz. So please, if you can pick it up, you get an extra point. Okay, I will come back to that when we go through the answers. Are you enjoying the music? It's good fun, isn't it? Makes you remember pubs and things. And here I have some of the black stuff. Couldn't do St Patrick's Day without a bit of Guinness, could you? Right, and first of all as well, my apologies to anybody Irish or with a knowledge of Ireland. This is a quiz for fun, and as with many of my country quizzes, if I get something wrong, blame me. I'm very sorry, but it's not been done intentionally. Okay, right. The first section of the Irish quiz is Irish writers. Irish writers. Which Irish writer wrote Ulysses, which is a famously hard-to-read stream of consciousness novel? So, which Irish writer wrote Ulysses? Okay. Question 2. Sally Rooney studied English at Trinity College, Dublin. Her second novel, which was adapted for a highly successful TV series, was partly set in student life there. What was its name? What was the name of her novel, Sally Rooney's novel, which was televised in a highly successful television series last year? Okay. Question 3. To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness, is said by Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest. Which Irish playwright wrote this sparkling comedy? So it's a quote: to lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. And this was said by Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest, which was written by which Irish playwright? Question 4. Which Belfast-born writer wrote a series of magical children's books which have been televised and filmed several times and have proved an influence on writers such as J.K. Rowling and Philip Pullman? Okay, so a Belfast-born writer of children's books which have influenced J.K. Rowling and Philip Pullman. Okay, and then the last question in our Irish writers. Okay, and the next round is food and drink. Just to give you a bit of encouragement, because sometimes writers can be a bit tough. Which poet wrote these quotes? Being Irish, he had an abiding sense of tragedy, which sustained him through temporary periods of joy. And the second quote: but I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. So which Irish poet wrote those two quotes? Okay, right. Second round, Irish food and drink. And of course, I do have an Irish drink here, which I will take a quaff of. Oh, that tastes brilliant. I've had a day wrestling with customer service online, various firms, and Yeah, that tastes really good. Irish food and drink. Question 1. What ingredients make Irish coffee? So what ingredients make Irish coffee? Question 2. Mashed potatoes, kale or cabbage and spring onions are the ingredients of which Irish dish? A. Coddle, B. Colcannon, or C. Carrageen moss? Okay, A. Coddle, B. Colcannon, or C. Carrageen moss? Okay then, question 3. Which Irish brand of crisps invented flavoured crisps? Oh, I beg your pardon. Right. Was it A. Golden Wonder, B. Tato, or C, Walker's? Let's start that Irish pub music again just for a bit. And then, right, question 4 of the food and drink. You're in Cork and you're offered a poppy. What would you expect to eat? A. A flower, B. A salad, or C. A potato? Okay, and question 5. Which of these ingredients is not in a black velvet? A. Rum, B. Guinness or stout, C. Sparkling wine? Okay, right, now then, I think it is time to go for the Irish music quiz. Right, so I'm going to stop this little bit of background music and going to go to my great friend Spotify. Okay, let's get on to you, Spotify. Okay then. And you can imagine you're in a lovely Irish pub drinking Guinness. Right, okay then. So we're getting on to the Spotify right now. Okay. And this, of course, as with all the music rounds, you get a point for... all right, let's just come on. You get a point for the artist and a point for the song. Okay, so let's try again. I love Spotify. I really love it. Right, here we go. Here we go. Launch web player. Okay then. What I do for these quizzes, I mean, you know, it's real jeopardy every single time. Now then, why is this not working? Let me just try. I think we're going to have to go on to another round because I cannot get the Spotify to work today. Let's just see, have I got that? Yep. I'm going to go on to the next round and I'm going to keep trying while I'm going on to the next round. Okay then. So, this should be good. Let's try Spotify. And the next round, my goodness, nothing's going right today, is about Irish history. Irish history. And question 1, an uprising in 1916 against the British colonial rule was named after A. Christmas, B. St. Patrick's Day, or C. Easter. Okay. Question 2. On partition, which city became the capital of Northern Ireland? Which city became the capital of Northern Ireland? Okay. And the answers to that are A. Belfast, B. Derry, or C. Dublin. And then question 3. The peace agreement signed in 1998 is known as A. the Maundy Thursday Agreement, B. the Bank Holiday Accord, or C. the Good Friday Agreement. Okay, and then we get question 4. In which year did a new constitution re-establish the Irish Free State as Ireland, or ERA, and separate it from the UK? And that is A. 1922, B. 1937, or C. 1926. Okay, And then question 5 in the Irish history. What was the name given to the Irish economy between 1995 to 2000? There was a special name given to it. It was thriving. Was it A, the Gaelic lion, B, the Celtic tiger, or C, the Irish donkey? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and see if I can get this back again. And do you know, this is just wonderful, isn't it? Just wonderful. Launch web player. Why aren't you coming up with me, eh? Let's see. Think for music. Come on now. I'm going to just put this. No, it's just not opening, is it? Come on, come on, come on, Spotify. No, we're going to have to do without music, I'm afraid, on this quiz, which is a bit sad because it's St. Patrick's Day. And what would St. Patrick's Day be without music? Anyway, we'll forget about that. Okay. Last round, the Irish Diaspora. Like many peoples who had hard times, the Irish have travelled the world and settled all over the world. I think this is one of the most fascinating aspects of human history, is seeing how different peoples have spread across different countries and brought different traditions, different cultures all across the world. And of course the Irish, following the very hard times of the potato famine and the oppression that they suffered, were emigrants in large numbers, particularly in the 19th and 20th centuries. Okay, so this is all about the Irish diaspora. Question 1. Who was the first Irish American president of Catholic background? And the possible answers are A, Jimmy Carter, B, Joe Biden, or C, John Kennedy. Okay. Question 2. In the 100 years between 1820 and 1930, many Irish emigrated to America, many of them travelling through Liverpool. How many is it estimated made that journey? A, 10 million, B, 3.5 million, or C, 4.5 million? Question 3. Which Irish broadcaster moved to Buckinghamshire in 1969 and was later given a knighthood? Was it A, Graham Norton, B, Terry Wogan, or 3, Dara O'Brien? Okay. Question 4. Many Irish people moved to this English city to build canals, roads and railways. It is estimated that the city has the highest per capita Irish population in Britain. Is it A, Liverpool, B, Coventry, or C, Birmingham? Okay. And the last question of this quiz, and is with a quiz, I'm afraid, without music, except a little bit of background music at the beginning. Question 5. Which city has the largest St. Patrick's Day parade? And that's in the world. Is it A, New York, B, Dublin, or C, Boston? Okay, so A, New York, B, Dublin, or C, Boston. Okay then, right. So we'll go back now to our answers, okay? And the first round is Irish writers. Which Irish writer wrote Ulysses, which is a famously hard-to-read stream of consciousness novel? And that was James Joyce. And by the way, I did say I would come back to the deliberate mistake that I made in my advertising for this quiz. The deliberate mistake, which was very kindly picked up by someone, was that the photo was of a clover, not a shamrock. And apparently, while all shamrocks are clover, not all clovers are shamrocks. And the clover in question had 4 leaves, which no shamrock has. So my apologies. It was a mistake made through ignorance, and now I know better. Thank you very much. Question 2 on the Irish writers. Sally Rooney studied English at Trinity College, Dublin. Her second novel, which was adapted for a highly successful TV series, was partly set in student life there. What was its name? Its name, of course, was Normal People, and that was a very successful and widely watched TV programme in 2020. Question 3. To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. Said by Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest. Which Irish playwright wrote this sparkling comedy? It was, of course, Oscar Wilde. And wouldn't it be lovely to see that again sometime? Right, question 4. Which Belfast-born writer wrote a series of magical children's books which have been televised and filmed several times and which have influenced later writers such as J.K. Rowling and Philip Pullman? And that is C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia. And, you know, I never knew he was Belfast-born. So there's one thing about doing these quizzes. I move from a position of absolute ignorance to slightly less than absolute ignorance. Question 5. Which poet wrote these quotes? Being Irish, he had an abiding sense of tragedy, which sustained him through temporary periods of joy. Now, I don't think you'll know this quote, but I had to put it in because it was so lovely. It was such a great quote. But this quote, some of you might know. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. Okay, and that was William Butler Yeats, W.B. Yeats. Okay, the great Irish poet. Irish food and drink now. And let's have another one of this life-saving beverage. Right. Okay. What ingredients make Irish coffee? Well, the answer there is coffee, Irish whiskey, sugar and cream. And you can give yourself a point for every one of those. Okay. Question 2. Mashed potatoes, kale or cabbage and spring onions are the ingredients of which Irish dish? A. Coddle, B. Colcannon or C. Carrageen moss? And it's B. Colcannon. So give yourself a point if you said Colcannon. Question 3. Which Irish brand of crisps invented the process for making flavoured crisps? Was it A. Golden Wonder, B. Tayto or C. Walker's? It was actually Tayto. And just think, who knew? They must have invented cheese and onion crisps. My very favourite. Okay, now question 4. You're in Cork and you're offered a poppy. What would you expect to eat? A. A flower, B. A salad, or C. A potato? And the answer is C. A potato. And finally, on the Irish food and drink, which of these ingredients is not in a black velvet? Well, the possible options were A. Rum, B. Guinness or stout, and C. Sparkling wine. And the answer is rum. Rum is not in a black velvet. The black velvet is usually Guinness and a sparkling wine. Okay, I hasten to add, mine isn't a black velvet, it's just a Guinness. Right, now we go on to Irish history. And Irish history, of course, there are many episodes of tragedy and many episodes of courage. And the British, well, the English particularly, did many terrible things in Ireland, going back centuries. This is a quiz, so I can only pick a few small incidents, and it's certainly a subject which I should look at more because I need to educate myself. Okay, question 1. An uprising in 1916 against British colonial rule was named after A. Christmas, B. St. Patrick's Day, or C. Easter. And excuse me, my cat's just in the background. It was Easter. It was the Easter Rising in 1916. On partition, which city became the capital of Northern Ireland? A. Belfast, B. Derry, or C. Dublin? And the answer is A. Belfast. Question 3. The Northern Irish Peace Agreement signed in 1998 is known as A, the Maundy Thursday Agreement, B, the Bank Holiday Accord, or C, the Good Friday Agreement. This number is C, the Good Friday Agreement. And those of you that have cats, have sympathy. Mine are always trying to steal the limelight. Question 4. In which year did a new constitution re-establish the Irish Free State as island or era and separate it from the UK? Was it A, 1922, B, 1937, or C, 1926? And the answer is B, 1937. So a long time, actually, took them to do that. And then, yes, question 5. Question 5, yes. What was the name given to the Irish economy, which was thriving between 1995 and 2000? Was it A, the Gaelic lion, B, the Celtic tiger, or C, the Irish donkey? It was, of course, B, the Celtic tiger. Okay, right. And now our last round, which is the Irish Diaspora. The numbers of Irish people who went and built new lives in different parts of the world. Question 1. Who was the first American president of an Irish Catholic background? A, Jimmy Carter, B, Joe Biden, C, John Kennedy. And the answer was John Kennedy. Joe Biden is also of an Irish Catholic background, but of course John F. Kennedy was the first. Question 2. In the 100 years between 1820 and 1930, many Irish emigrated to America, many of them travelling through Liverpool. How many is it estimated made that journey? A, 10 million, B, 3.5 million, or C, 4.5 million? And the answer is C, 4.5 million. A lot of people who uprooted themselves and tried to make a better life elsewhere. Question 3. Which Irish broadcaster moved to Buckinghamshire in 1969 and was later given a knighthood? A, Graham Norton, B, Terry Wogan, or C, Darragh O'Brien? And that, of course, was Terry Wogan. Question 4. Many Irish people moved to this English city to build canals, roads and railways. It is estimated that this city has the highest per capita Irish population in Britain. Is it A, Liverpool, B, Coventry, or C, Birmingham? And the answer's a bit of a surprise. It's C, Birmingham. Now, Birmingham in the latest census had 22,000 people who defined themselves as being Irish, whereas Liverpool had 6,729 and Coventry had 7,305. Now, of course, the census and this question doesn't take account of Irish heritage, and there are many cities, of which Liverpool is one of the major ones, which have a strong and vibrant Irish heritage, and many citizens who have Irish heritage in their background, in their roots. So, but in terms of numbers of people who define themselves as Irish, Birmingham has the highest per capita number. And the last question of this quiz, and the luck of the Irish has not been with me today, which city has the largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world? Would it be A, New York, B, Dublin, or C, Boston? And the answer is A, New York. Biggest and best in New York. So, I wish you all a very happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope that next year you'll be able to celebrate it in the way that you normally do. And having lived in Liverpool for many years, I have great memories of St. Patrick's Day. And I wish you all a happy evening. Cheers. Stay safe, everyone. Love you.